So the last few days have talked a lot about different circumstances in life and not being able to be in control. And so remembering that sometimes we need to just stop going over what we can't change and think about how it's going to affect us going forward, what we can control, which is how we react, what we do next, how we let it shape us. That's all very important, but of course, there's times in life where difficult things happen, horrible things happen sometimes. So I'm not suggesting that every situation you can just overlook and just be like, oh well, let's move on, let's get on with it. Obviously, that's not the case. It very much depends on what's going on. Now, one thing I will say is you should never just brush off a really difficult situation. You don't want to sit in it and spend the rest of your life sat in that same situation going over and over and over something. But at the same time, you don't want to just fly through it either. A lot of times with this sort of content, you get people saying positive thinking and everything, just move on from things, just get on, just move on and deal with it and rush. No, that's not the answer either. When we go through difficult things, we have to take time to process those feelings and we have to feel them. A lot of times people bury those things down. They think we've got to rush straight to the next thing and just not deal with it. But it just festers inside. It's not going to go anywhere. You still have to process things. And if you don't take the time to process the things, they will just keep coming up and affecting your life. They will cause you to make all sorts of decisions and behave in certain ways because that stuff is still unprocessed. It hasn't been felt, hasn't been dealt with. You have to feel to heal. So you do have to take that time, especially if you've been through a really difficult set of circumstances. So all I'm saying is don't sit there. Don't let things define the rest of your life and define who you are. Don't stress too much over stuff that you can't control. We'll never have full control over things. But at the same time, don't just rush to get through it. Don't just brush it off and bury it down and pretend it doesn't matter, because that is not the answer either. You have to take a bit of time to process things and to feel them. Distracting from them, sometimes it can be helpful for a little bit if it's overwhelming, but don't just bury it, because it's going to come up. It has to be dealt with sometime. So don't mistake that when I'm saying about don't let it define you.